with that gang gang. You know we don't play games, bro. Hop up on that wagon, oh please just get out the way. You know we stay stuntin', right up in your face. We sorry, not sorry, we just stuck up in our ways. West Coast gon' head stand up, put that glass and hands up. Gang, we famed up. Got that change, we bagged up. True love, we stay manned up.
Yo, what's up, Beaches? Hello, Kelly, Elizabeth over on the YouTubes. Oh, that's right. It's Daddy Swole. It's Daddy what? Papa Swole. Papa. Yeah. It's Daddy Swole. Happy Swole motherfucking Friday. Yas Booshes. Yas Beesh. Das Beaches. Yas is the Beaches. Yeah. Walk the line. Make it gains every single day. Every single day.
Glad that you asked. God fill me up. Mud in my glass. God clean me up. All that I ask. Wherever you headed there fast. I am ahead. You are in last. Last time I checked, you were all gas. Gas in the whip it up fast. Fast and all furious, I'm starting to spaz. Getting all curious, you put me on blast. Blasting that Darius, kids in the back. Back to the future is black. Black like T'Challa, Wakanda attack. East Coast with the gang. West Coast with the gang. Love with the gang. You know we don't play gang. East Coast with the gang. West Coast with the gang. Love with the gang. You know we don't play gang. East Coast with the gang. West Coast with the gang. Love with the gang. You know we don't play gang. East Coast with the gang. West Coast with the gang. Love with the gang. You know we don't play gang.
Here we go. Yas Booshes. Yas Beaches. What up?
Every time you hear it, you're like,
Making sick fucking gains.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Welcome to the Daily Swole, bro. Testing. Test. Testing. Is this mic on? Testing. Are we live? Testing. Test Ickles. Welcome everyone to episode 1065 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gangcast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and as a slaycast in as a realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What is going on, ya beaches, ya booshes? What's going on, busters, hustlers, sluts, hoes, swole hoes in the house, everyone, whatever you suck, wherever you do, whatever you take, whatever you claim, whatever you are, wherever you're coming from, what up, beesh? What's going on? You're all a beesh in my book, and that's a good thing. That's a term of endearment. It's also a term of being a beesh. It's something that happens. It's something that can't be controlled all the time. I don't make the rules. I am just relaying it to you. So take it for what it's worth. Take it at face value. Whatever. What's going on, Eugenia? What's up? Amanda, Will, Tara, Cindy, Mark, Sharon, Gabby, Rebecca, Thomas, Vince, Theodore, Eva, JC, Lance. Oh my goodness. Facebook is turning out. We're turning up. What's good on Instagram? Papa, it's great to see you. It's great to see you too. I'm glad I'm back. I missed you all for like a day. I missed you since yesterday. So I hope you've been enjoying the last couple episodes. It's fun to have my boy Jeb on the podcast. It's fun to have him on the podcast. It's nice to mix things up a little bit. I usually, like, you're the guest on the show. All of you watching, you're the guest on the show. You're the ones that show up every day. So you're the ones that are on my show. But it's nice to have someone in the swole hole jamming a little bit. So he's at the beach right now. It's like cloudy though. It's all gray. It's like the gray. It's bright, but it's like white, gray, bright. It's been nasty and kind of gloomy, but I think it's warm enough for the beach. It's warm enough for the beach, so he's enjoying that, coming from like shitty Ohio weather. And that's why people come down here. That's why people do the spring break in Florida, because it's generally nice, but it's been a little bit funky the last couple days. Hopefully that's run its course. I think we might be done with like the funky weather. But now when it goes into the summer, it just rains every day. every day there's a 20% chance of rain. Every day it's like 30, 40. It's going to rain somewhere in Florida. It's going to be raining somewhere. That's the bottom line. If you don't know Florida, now you know. It's pretty much just somewhere it's going to rain. What's the weather today? Rain. When? Sometime. Where? Somewhere. That's it. That's the weather person. Being a meteorologist in Florida is got to be the biggest waste of time, except for the hurricane stuff. It's like, oh, cool, there's a hurricane coming. I'm honestly surprised those people still have jobs, aside from just sending out a tweet. I'm surprised people still do the whole map thing. Oh, we got this area over here. We got this coming in from the side. We got this coming in from the bottom. We got this coming in from the top. We got this stuff coming in. I don't know. Well, as we all know, even though it's summer, even though it's the spring, winter is coming. Winter is coming. My people, we got like 1 week left until Game of Thrones, the premiere, finally. Those of you that are GOT fans. I'm in the shithole, Ohio. Fourth winter. Thomas, for a first time, I had to take off my Vibram shoes and replace them with my old boots because it was pissing down as hell. My feet are in pain as fuck now. Yeah, if you go from wearing barefoot stuff all the time and you go back to wearing shoes, it's brutal. I can't do it anymore. I can't wear shoes. It's super uncomfortable for me. Everything bothers me, and I walk around. I feel like I'm wearing galoshes. When I wear even the Chucks, a lot of people wear Chucks because they're flat. They're still like wearing moon shoes. If you wear those in comparison to another sneaker, oh, they feel so flat. I feel so barefoot. And people squat in them. They do all this like deadlifts in them. Those are like moon shoes. Those are like literally wearing those rubber boots. They're fucking just clunky as hell. Congratulations, Mike. Everyone say congratulations to Mike. Passed my CPT test today. Fired up. I was nervous as shit. Thinking about getting a specialization in nutrition. Any thoughts on that? If you want to spend more money on it, I wouldn't get their, personally, I wouldn't. I don't know anything about their certification in nutrition. It just sounds like more money to me, to be honest. It just sounds like, oh, here, give us some more money and we'll give you some more letters. But I don't know anything about it. But anything that has a nutrition, I don't know. Those certifications, like those extra ones, like nutrition special, what are they going to tell you that you can't Google? What are they going to tell you? They don't have the nutrition answer. What are they going to tell you what carbs are? How many calories alcohol has? What are they going to tell you? I don't know. What's it called? The FNS, the functional nutrition spell? What? They're just making up certifications. It's like CrossFit. They have a rowing certification. They have a gymnastic certification. They have a rings certification. There's like, hey, how do you wipe your ass? CrossFit style certification. Like there's just all these little additional ones. Extra. But look, Mike, I'm just fucking with you. I don't really know. I know people get it, but I think it sounds better than no one's going to question you. No one's going to question you if you have that certification. They'll be like, oh, cool. He's a functional nutrition specialist or a fitness, whatever that acronym is. And they're not going to ask. They're not going to go through the curriculum and see if they want to hire you. In other words, that's not going to make or break whether or not someone hires you. It won't. So anyway. Yeah, any kind of nutrition company. Look, no one has the answer for nutrition. That's actually what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the details, but no one has the nutrition answer. It doesn't exist. No one has the answer. Oh, this is the right way to do it. You can learn about nutrition. You can learn about energy systems. You can learn about, how the body metabolizes, but no one has the answer. Oh, this is the best way of eating. That doesn't exist. There's just information that we're compiling, and now people are trying different things and sifting through. And that's what bothers me about the industry, how everyone seems to fucking claim that they know what they're talking about. There isn't an answer. That's why I don't like it when someone becomes the keto person and they change everything in their profile to I'm the keto person, or I'm the paleo person, I'm the fasting person, I'm this person, I'm the vegan person, vegan lifestyle, vegan this, I am vegan. And everyone puts the plant emoji, I'm plant-based. You might be idiot-based too. You don't know yet. You don't know if that's the best way. Just because you feel good for the last month doesn't mean you're going to feel good in 3 months. And then you're going to have to change your profile and change your screen name. Oh, how come you're not the vegan person anymore? Oh, well, I stopped because I ate some real fucking food. Oh, no. Everyone tries to build their social media around like an identity. Everyone tries to pick something that they can go towards because they don't really have their own beliefs. They try to find something they can latch onto so they have content to post. That's usually what it comes down to in the fitness industry. People are looking for things to post about. Most people don't have content. Most people don't really have anything to say. So if they are the keto person or the vegan person, they can endlessly talk about one thing and they can try to carve out some expertise. But if you look at how many people see success with various methods of eating and training, you think, well, what the fuck is the right answer? And that's exactly the point. That's exactly the point. There is no like, this is the right way. So when you ask me questions, and that's what, and let me just preface this episode with what the title really means, because then we'll talk about everything. Devil in the details, the way I'm using that phrase, devil in the details, is that you get lost in the details. You don't need to worry about all the details. As much as you can look at the macro, okay, it matters what you're doing overall for your training, and it matters day to day, like you're executing, you're doing your best every day. However, all the little last details that people ask me for questions, what the best training split is, what's the best time to eat before a workout or after a workout, those are things that honestly, and this is, I mean, these are good questions because I'll still give a good answer. Those are things you have to determine for yourself, because I've done everything from not eating before training, no matter what time it was, to eating an hour before, half an hour, 3 hours, fasted in the morning, eating in the morning, doing X, Y, and Z, eating right after, not eating right after, not caring about when I eat. I've done all sorts of different styles. And what it really comes down to is what you can be consistent with, right? What you can do with minimal micromanaging. And I want to clarify those two types of people. I know there's more than two, but how many of you are very analytical? And I'm not even sure if or quantitative. How many of you love to count calories? How many of you love, no, honestly, and be honest with yourself. You don't have to, I don't care if you do or not. My question is, how many of you like to do it? How many of you like to count calories? Like you like to count calories. Some people enjoy weighing. Some people enjoy filling out the details on MyFitnessPal and hitting their macro percentage. Some people like that stuff. I know a lot of you hate it. Most people hate it. I think it's more, even more so, it's that most people think they need to. So aside from the fact that you don't need to do that, do you like to do it? Do you like to count calories? Just put that in the comments down below. I don't like to. Donuts fuel my deadlifts. You like to? You put your hands up, so I don't know if that means you do. Oddly I do. Visually rewarding, I guess. I'm saying is if you like to do it. So I'm not talking about necessarily the result of it, but I guess that's why you like to do it. I think most people are going to hate it. However, my point is some people do like it. Some people like to count. Some people like to micromanage their food. So for those people that really like to, I will tell you this. Even if you want to count calories, because if you've been following my podcast for at least a few weeks, you know that you've heard me say, fuck counting calories, stop micromanaging your food, stop worrying about weighing on a scale and all the macros and all the detailed bullshit that's just shoved down your throat. I think we can all agree very simply that if you expend more energy than you're consuming, your body is going to have to get energy from somewhere. So you'll lose weight overall in general. And there are a lot of different subtle changes, and there are a lot of differences, on a hormonal level, genetic level, exercise output. There's all the different subtleties. So I don't care if you like to count or not. Fundamentally, level one, you need to eat the right shit. Level one, I don't care if you like to count or not. I don't care if you're fat. I don't care if you're skinny. I don't care if you're bulimic, you're anorexic, you're fucked up in the head, you're not fucked up in the head, you have blonde hair, you're brunette, you're white, black, Asian. I don't care what you are. You should be really invested in figuring out the best foods for you as a person, for you, whoever you are, whatever your name is, wherever you live, whatever your genetics are, whatever that is, you should be working consistently and always have that program, just like a phone or a computer, always have that program running in the background. have that be like one of like the operating system, right? Like iOS or Windows, have that be like a program that runs in the background all the time. You're always assessing, you're always observing, you're always listening to your body. You're seeing, oh shit, I have the runs after I ate this, or oh, I feel great after eating this, or I feel better when I don't eat first thing in the morning. Like you're always assessing what you're eating, when you're eating it, and kind of like figuring out what your body is doing, what it's reacting to, what it might like, what it doesn't like. And you can do this through an elimination diet. You can do this constantly with just observation and trial and error. But that's very important. You can do things. They have more things like now that you can test. And some of these things cost money. And I know some of you can't afford it, which is one thing. But there are things that you can look up. There's more and more research and evidence about genetics and about doing one of those Ancestry or 23andMe and figuring out your genetic profile and maybe what you're predisposed to. If you're more predisposed genetically to metabolizing fats better, X, Y, and Z. Like there's different little things that we're coming up with that might give you some more insight into what you should or should not do, or what you should try at least, or what pathway you can go down. So those are options. Those are things that you're learning. But that's an individual. Obviously, your DNA, if you did one of those tests and you submitted it and they said, oh, you would be better off with these, let's say, supplements or these nutrients in higher quantities. Maybe you're more fat, maybe you're more carbohydrates, maybe you're less this. That's very individual. So my approach and what I encourage all of you to do is to understand your bio-individuality. That's your person. That's who you are. That's what you should be doing. And there are a lot of individual approaches that you can have. There are 7.5 billion people in the world. Some people have the means to do different things. Some people are more locked into a position where maybe they can't afford to go to a gym. So you're not going to have the option to go and do certain exercise if you have access to that equipment. Does that mean you're not going to move your body? Does that mean you're just going to sit around and cry and feel sorry for yourself? Or are you going to go for a walk, which is free? Are you going to do some push-ups or some yoga, which is free? If you're capturing this podcast, you can go on YouTube, which is free, and watch videos and learn and execute and try. And you have endless access to information. You don't need a college degree. You don't need a certification to learn. You do not need a certification to learn. I'll say that again. You don't need to if you want to be a personal trainer in a gym and you want to have insurance and you want a gym to hire you under their umbrella insurance and blah, 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 you might need a certain certification or education level or experience level. But if you want to learn fitness, you don't need to go and take a certification. I know a lot of people that go and take a personal training certification for themselves, for their information. Just fucking read, watch videos, learn. You don't need to go and do that. You can. Some people just like to pay for things and they feel accomplished when they're paying for a course. They feel like it's more legit. I don't know. But information is free. Libraries are fucking free. And the internet just made it more free and more accessible. So you don't need any credentials to learn to read, to understand how to read a medical journal or a medical article or a study. You can learn how to read those. And there are sites and there are pages and videos that explain what an abstract is, or what the Library of Research or literary research and the background, all these different aspects of what goes into some of these things. You can learn and educate yourself. I think there is just such a lack of self-starting. There's a lack of passion, desire. There's a lack of responsibility that individuals have for their own health. Like you have your finger on the button. You have your foot on the pedal. You're the driver. You're in the driver's seat of your life. You are in the driver's seat. I'm not controlling what you do. I'm trying to open your eyes to different things. I have certain things that I do. I have certain ways that I train. I have a certain background. This is what I do. And most of what I talk about is from my experience. I'm sharing with you. So it's important that you forge your own path, that you learn, that you approach your fitness and your health the right way at the beginning, especially if you're maybe restarting, cleaning house, spring cleaning, you're just getting into training. It's very important to focus on certain areas of training now so you don't have to go back and try to fix your errors, your bad form, injuries down the road. from just jumping into strength training. I think there are certain, and this is again, my opinion, my experience, but working with thousands of people over the course of years, I have formulated, and that's what Swolenormous X is all about, my private training site. That's what I have put together, is just the best way for all levels to gather and to execute on these principles of active recovery, mobility, yoga, strength training, stabilization, all these different things that we talk about every day. But you can certainly do this on your own. You can certainly approach this stuff and educate yourself. It just takes time, and I've put time into it. I've put time into my career. It's just my life. And a lot of people don't like to invest in themselves. And a lot of people feel like everything should be free. A lot of people feel like they should just be handed everything. Well, you are handed everything. You are. You have a cell phone. No one in history has had more access to information than you do right now in 2019. Are you willing to put in months, if not years, of education, research, applying it in the gym, trial and error, doing it yourself to learn to get the same mastery that I have? And that's just something that, joining a community like Swolenormous X or another online program, that's what programs or that's what platforms should offer. And I know a lot of you get screwed over. You go and you get these like cookie cutter PDFs and things that people just fucking pass around. And that's what gives online training and coaching a bad name. But what a fitness professional should be doing is guiding, not telling, not ordering, not planting their fucking flag. A fitness professional should be a guide. Like when you go on a tour, when you go hiking in the woods and you have those adventure guides, they don't say, this is what this is. You're going to like this. You're going to look over here. They take you to an area and they explain and they show you. And then you're like, oh, wow. And you go check it out and you go explore and you get around and they bring you to a spot and they open your eyes to the environment there and they let you experience it. And that's what I want to do. I want to get you thinking about your fitness differently. I want to get you thinking about your nutrition differently and just understand that there isn't always that. And very rarely is there that this is right, this is wrong. And I think that's where people get fucked up. You're so used to being in school when there is, on a test in school, there is a right answer and there is a wrong answer. On a test, it's right or it's wrong. There isn't, I guess if it's an essay, there's opinion based, but then there's still a teacher reading the essay and that's their opinion. This is better. This is bad. This is good. This is not good. So you're technically writing so they like it because they're the one grading and assessing your work. But when it comes to a multiple choice or an answer, there's the right answer and there's the wrong answer. It was correct or it wasn't correct. And that's a bad way to formulate, that's a bad way to harden and cement your brain. That's very dangerous because it doesn't teach you to learn. It doesn't teach you the gray. It doesn't show you that there isn't a correct answer necessarily. If you do 1 + 1, okay, that equals 2. I get it. However, when you talk about what's the best diet to build muscle, that you're literally just opening up the door to Google and being like, here you go check it, go check all this shit out. Check out these 50 million pages of information. And I do understand how that can seem overwhelming because you have too much information. And that's where this episode comes into play. The devil's in the details. There's too much information. What I do with this podcast and what I want to bring the conversation back to all the time is let's simplify it. Let's filter. Let's whittle it down. Let's trim the branches because there's too much shit. There's too much noise around. There's too much stuff out there. You don't need most of it. You just don't need most of it. And it's not to say that some of it doesn't work. It's not to say that a lot of it doesn't work. It's just to say that you just don't need most of it. It's just simply not necessary. So why are you flooding and overflowing your limited capacity to focus on specific things? Why are you focusing so much on things that don't matter? That's why I like to do these Ask Papa Swolio episodes on YouTube, like the ones I've been doing recently. I like to talk about these issues and help you refocus on what's most important. What's the common denominator? What are the things that you should focus on the most to get the most out of your time? Because investing your time into fitness and training, you have limited time. You're busy. You have a family. You have jobs. You have a schedule. And I get that. I get that. We all do. We all have things that we have to do. We all have responsibilities, but either you do your training, you do what you need to do, you learn what you need to learn, or you don't. And most of you are here because you want something better. You want to do better. You want to learn more. You want to train more. You want to do better. And that's cool. And I respect that. And I want to help you with that. I think there's just too much of this distraction. There's too much distraction. There are too many voices. Too many voices. Too many voices out there. And it's not to say that all the voices are bad. It's not to say that there aren't a lot of good voices. But I think we can all agree that most of them are just making noise. And it's making noise that can overshadow a lot of the good information. And it conceals itself. A lot of times it's a lion in sheep's clothing, or a wolf in sheep's clothing. That's the proper analogy. And what that does is you don't know what's real and what's not, because a lot of the bullshit can look like good shit. And you don't know until you fucking swallow the whole dick. I don't know where I'm going with that one, but I mean, once you swallow the dick, you know there's a dick in your mouth. So by the time you figure that one out, it's too late. You're already choking. I don't know. That got dark real. That went off. But I think for some of you that makes sense. For some of you that makes sense. Papa fucking Swole, what's up, my adventures? Do you always go live at 12? No, I don't. It's 3:00. Oh, maybe it's 12 if you're in the West Coast, but no, I don't do live at 12. I used to. Like 2 years ago, I would go live at 12. No, you have to turn on your notifications to know when I go live. It varies. Thank you. Well, I appreciate it. It looks like the chat crashed on my end. Let me see a little bit. Let me try to reload it. I'm not seeing the latest. Good idea until I found you. Honestly, that chat's cut off. Papa, where do you get grass-fed meat? You can order them. You can order them online. Google it. You can find some good spots online. There's Butcher Box and there's other ones. Actually, I'm not sure what that company offers, but you can go to Whole Foods. You can find a lot of good stuff. But there are plenty of sites that deliver. You have to see which ones deliver to your area. Pretty much, I think everyone pretty much delivers everywhere now. But there are a lot of good sites. You have to see which one fits in your price range. Whatever you're looking for in terms of grass-fed beef, make sure that it says grass-fed and grass-finished, 100% grass-fed beef. Always good to get good reviews and to research whatever site, whatever local farmer. Some of you have access to local farms and stuff, so I would check that out too. The closer you can get to actually seeing where your stuff comes from, if that's going to be the route you're going. I know a lot of you go down the street or you drive an hour to an actual farm and you get it there from the farmer. That's cool because you can see what's going on there. You can meet the people. That's really cool. I don't have that ability, but a lot of you do. So that could be an option too. So don't be afraid to look for something local as well. It's 12 in California. Ooh, it's 12 o'clock somewhere everywhere. Maybe it's in the middle of the ocean, but it's always 12 o'clock somewhere. Cramming raw broccoli in my mouth right now as you talked about mouthful of dick. You're welcome. I think I've never eaten a dick before, but I think raw broccoli is probably very close to a real dick. I don't think I'll ever eat raw broccoli again as long as I live. If I can help it. Raw broccoli is probably the nastiest shit you can probably chew down. Maybe raw kale is worse. Why don't you steam it a little bit? Saute it a little bit. It makes it better to digest. Why raw? At least blend it or something. Drink that. Why would you chew it? You can chop it up in a salad. It might be palatable, but raw broccoli. It's like eating a tree. Eating raw broccoli or raw vegetable, it's like walking down the street and be like, oh, look at a tree. I'm just going to look at that bark. That looks delicious. You just go up to like the leaf or the branch and just start chewing on it. It's literally how it tastes. It's just a fucking tree. It's a little tiny green tree that you're eating. I love broccoli and dick. All right, well, that's cool. That's cool. I like broccoli, but I don't like dick. I like my dick, but that's just because, we're good friends. We go back. We go way back. I've known him for like 35 years. Papa, you're one of the few out there who hasn't succumbed to the bullshit way of educating where they are constantly chasing sales and promoting the next best shit. Your authenticity is appreciated. Thank you. Thank you. I don't want to pretend I'm not some fallen angel, but I take offense, I guess, when someone thinks that I'm in it for Like just like the fucking money. I get that sometimes when I'm, on the ebook. If you see the ebook, promotion or something, hey, free ebook, you're like, what are you trying to fucking sell me, bro? I'm like, I don't sell you anything. If you want to join my programs and stuff, you're more than welcome. You don't have to do shit. I have plenty of free content. Plenty of free content. A lot of you are just here and you're here every day and you don't need to give me money. You're more than welcome and you're more than appreciated just being here and listening, downloading the podcast and checking it out, subscribing and all that stuff. It's totally cool. It's totally cool. Some people want more, so they get more. I offer more. I offer everything. I don't think things should be, I don't think information should be necessarily all behind a paywall. I think there's plenty of free information. It just comes down to whether or not you are actually going to invest your time into learning. And what often happens when you have a program or a platform, when you like what I have with Swolenormous X, is that it's really fucking organized and it's all in one place, and it's not free to host hundreds of videos. It's not free to have a membership site. So it covers the costs and allows me to do what I do. However, it provides an amazing service that puts everything in one fucking place. And that should be behind a paywall. It should be. That's a product. That's an amazing fucking service that I offer. And the community is a fucking amazing. I wouldn't trade it in for the world. However, that's why I also do the podcast and I do YouTube videos and I do Q&As, because I want to give you as much information and value as I possibly can for all levels, for anyone, whether you pay me or not, whether you are training with my programs or not. A lot of people that watch this and do this, you're doing your own training program. That's cool. I get it. That's totally cool. Still fucking tune in. A lot of trainers and people online are they're looking for the short term. They're trying to sell you something now because they're trying to make money now. And it's like, okay, cool. But what value are you offering? How are you actually helping people? I don't see it. It's usually just trying to like, here, buy my cookbook, buy this, join my challenge. I'll tell you what about your fucking challenge, jabronis. Grab some bark. I was going to say, I don't know how many dicks you swallow, but the only thing you're thinking is don't yak. It's probably exactly the same as raw broccoli. It probably is. Thank you, Adam. I appreciate it. You're welcome, dude. You're welcome. I'm glad you're tuning in. I'm glad you're enjoying the Papa Swolio show. The Papa Swolio show. That's the next podcast coming out. Welcome to the Papa Swolio show. It's going to have like a 50s or 60s set. They're going to have like all the little light bulbs lighting up like The Price is Right. Papa Swole. It's Papa Swolio. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah. The Papa Swolio show. Have a nice curtain. Opens up. Blink. It's not the same. It's not the same. Swallowing a dick is not the same as raw broccoli. Duly noted. If you've learned anything from this podcast today, it's that raw broccoli may or may not be the same as having a dick in your mouth. It's up for debate, apparently. In the Swolenormous community, we are not sure. We are not sure how to answer that question. Respect. I'm late to the party. How's it going? It's going fine. We're talking about raw broccoli and dick. We're comparing the two and the taste, and I have no reference point. So only the ladies, or it seems mostly the ladies, are chiming in. I suppose guys could chime in, but I don't know how many pole smokers watch my show. Probably some, a few, and it's cool. I mean, a lot of pole smokers. I mean, women, This can go downhill fast, so we're gonna have to cut this. We're gonna have to wrap this up before it becomes Swole XXX, the Daily Swole show. It's not. I've done both today, and I can confirm. Raw broccoli is not the same. It's official. Raw broccoli is not the same. I repeat, raw broccoli is not the same as a penis in your mouth. It's not the same. It's close, I think, right? It's close, kind of close. As someone who's had experience with the D and the V, I'd confirm that the D is closer. The raw broccoli analogy. Very good. Okay, so at least we're getting we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. It's close. It's close. Okay. All right, good. As long as you're leaving with some piece of like actual information that you can use in your real life, then we've done our job here. Oh, I see. Oh, here, hold on a second. Here we go. Hold on a second. Someone said, did you say broccoli? Um, what's the difference between broccoli and a dick? Dick doesn't get stuck in your teeth. I guess it depends. It'd have to be a really small one. Guess, or you have a really big, like Madonna tooth gap for it to go in there, I suppose. Boyfriend's about to walk back out the door. Bless this conversation. Well, information there's no shortage of information here. So we talked about nutrition, we talked about nutrients, we talked about training program style, we talked about dicks and broccoli. Is there anything else that I've missed? Did I miss anything? Is there anything we're short of? Before we do leave, don't forget, everyone, to check out the latest Swole Motion vlog is up on YouTube, and I aspire to have a next episode of Ask Papa Swolio up tomorrow. Really repping those out. There's a lot of great questions that you are all dropping on the Ask Papa Swolio posts here on Instagram and also on YouTube. So when you see those videos, especially those on YouTube, make sure that you ask your question. Just drop in the comments below with the hashtag Ask Papa Swolio, and I'll get to those as soon as possible. And I'm doing a lot of these episodes on YouTube. So if you don't get it answered the next video, it's okay. I take questions. I go back from previous episodes. I try to get as much variety and I reuse. So it's not only the ones from that one get on the next one. I go from wherever they're being posted because people are still watching the video a week later and dropping questions below. So wherever you find a video that you want to drop your question on, just use that hashtag, especially on YouTube. And I'm more than happy to feature you. Just ask your question, ask away, and I'll try to get to it as soon as possible. And we will also be doing the Sunday Funday Q&A. Today's Friday, so tomorrow, so Sunday, so 2 days, 2 days away, and then we'll do some kind of Game of Thrones. We'll do a game of Swole party next Sunday because of the premiere of Game of Thrones. Finally, again, we mentioned that earlier in the podcast, but that's exciting. So what else is new besides that? Making some sick gains. I got so much content to edit. I got some stuff. I got some new Swolga stuff for Swolenormous X, trying to get some of that stuff done. A little bit tough having my boy in from out of town. He's here for a few more days, so he'll probably be on the podcast again one of the next days coming up. Got those coffee burps. And today is going to be, for me, my legs are sore, but today is slated to be a leg day. I might be high rep. It might be high rep. I might do some kettlebell work. I don't know, but I am sore from the other day. I'm sore. It's Friday. I'm sore as shit from, I guess it was I think it was Tuesday where I did some squats and some stiff leg, but I did some, I went, for the RDLs, I did like some real, not lockout, but my knees were bent, but I really kept them super straight and my back was flat. Oh, it was perfect form, but I really limited how far I went to keep my legs more straight, just to hit a different angle, a different length point of the hamstring. And I got in there deep. I'm so glad I didn't do too much volume. I'm so glad. I'm so glad I did like 3 sets. I am tight. I'm tight. For this being my first live podcast, I'm loving it. I can't wait for more. That means the world. If you like the raw broccoli and the dick conversation, you're in the right place. There is nothing that is off limits for the Daily Swole. And that's what's wonderful about turning on your post notifications, making sure that you are in tune and you're ready. And I usually also, I try to tell you when I go live in my story, but it does vary. It's usually around midday. It's usually around, Eastern time. It's usually around, late morning, early afternoon, but sometimes we go early morning, sometimes we go afternoon and later evening. But it's always great to catch live because I love the interaction. That's what makes the show unique and special, is that it's very interactive. So, you got a question? All right, we'll take one before we go. All right, you slip one in there. It's okay. You don't know if you don't ask. Christopher Brown, what kind of protein shake to help lose weight? None. You don't need any protein shakes to lose weight. That has nothing to do with weight loss, by the way. Protein shake supplements have nothing to do with weight loss. That's a caloric deficit. That's making sure that you're eating the right foods, not overeating them, which helps if you're eating the right foods, whole food based. You're training regularly. You're doing the right shit. You're getting plenty of sleep, hydration. If you're trying to lose weight, you don't need to waste your money on supplements. You need to focus on all the other things that are keeping the weight on. No protein shakes. You don't need it, especially to lose weight. That's not the kind of thing you go after to lose weight. It's not going to fill you up. It's going to make it worse, in my opinion. Protein shakes provide a lot of artificial fillers and sometimes, oftentimes, according to recent studies, heavy metals and shit like that. But you're not going to get satisfied. You don't get satisfied from eating protein. That doesn't really give you a lot of satisfaction in terms of the reason why people like to eat carbohydrates and eat fats, because it's very satisfying. So for me, my carbohydrates largely come from more fibrous foods. And my only main, impact carbohydrate is sometimes white rice. Lately, I've been having some white rice, playing around with it. I've been feeling pretty good, but mostly sweet potatoes, a lot of vegetables, and get your fiber. I'll have berries and stuff for my snacks, like frozen blueberries and blackberries and raspberries. But I don't do a lot of high glycemic stuff really, but more fiber from the carbs. So it's not impacting my blood sugar. So I don't do tons of carbs. I do more fat and protein. I do a lot of fat. I'm not in ketosis by any means, but a very large percentage of my diet, my intake is fat oriented. Thoughts on meal replacement shakes? The same thing. You don't need to replace your meal with a shake. If anything, just don't eat. Just don't eat. Skip a meal. Don't eat. Fast a little bit. You'll be fine not eating for 2 hours. You don't need a shake. What's the best way to get into yoga? By trying a beginner yoga class anywhere online, anywhere in person. Just start with something entry level or all levels, if it says so, if you're at a studio, but anywhere. Start with something that at least says all levels or beginner, whether it's in-person instruction or you do a video online. You can also, if you want to really ask me what I think the best way to do yoga is, to join Swole X and access the all levels yoga studio. You get every different aspect of yoga. We get new shit added every month. So I know what I do and I know what we do inside Swole X. So that's why I say it, because I know literally what goes on in there. I don't know what else is out there on YouTube, but there are thousands of videos. So you don't have to join Swole X, but we have that, and we have a progressive yoga studio. But you can find any entry-level yoga class anywhere. It'd be great. You will regret not doing it earlier. You will love it. You will love it. It'll make you feel so good. It will make you feel so good. There you go, Gabby. Gabby answered it. Look up beginners videos or join a class. Just dive in. Absolutely. Absolutely. When you say you mix coconut oil with your berries, is it melted or just solid? No, I mean, it depends on what the temperature is. In Florida, a lot of times it's liquid just because it's hot as fuck. No, I have my berries. My berries, I take them out of the freezer. They're frozen. So I put the coconut oil, even if it's liquid, but it freezes on top of it. So it makes a crunchy coconut. It's delicious. Fasting does work wonders. Shutting your fucking mouth and not eating food works amazing wonders for fat loss and weight loss. Not eating. The shocking truth about your weight loss. Shutting your fucking mouth. Coming soon to a Weight Watchers near you. Mouth closed. Shut your fucking mouth. Stop eating. Stop putting food in your fucking mouth. Stop fucking eating. You want to lose weight. Stop fucking eating. Oh my God, he's going to give people an eating disorder. No, I'm not, you ass clown. No, I'm not, you fuck monkey. I'm absolutely not telling you to have an eating disorder. I'm telling you to stop eating so much fucking food. That's one of the huge problems. Not eating too much food. And I'll follow that up with saying, if you're eating the right foods, you're really eating quality foods, fiber, you're eating quality fats, quality protein, it's very hard to overeat. You're going to be stuffed. You're going to be fucking full. You're going to be miserable. If you're trying to bulk, that's what you want. You want to stuff yourself, right? Because you're trying to gain weight. But if you're trying to lose weight, it's super easy when you eat the right foods and you eat real food because you're full. And guess what happens when you're full? You're not hungry. Guess what happens when you're not hungry? You don't fucking eat. You don't fucking eat. And guess what happens when you don't fucking eat? You don't get fat. Dun 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 dun. Dance, Papa Swolio, dance. What is Papa Swolio's story? She's a good girl. She's sleeping. She's sleeping in her bed. I'd pick her up, but she's sleeping. Yeah, she's a good mama. Hey, good mama. She's my step pup. My step pup. Fasting is so convenient too when you wake up and you're late to work. Fuck it, I'll fast today. For real. Yeah, like you don't have to do it all the time, but it's great. Some people like it all the time. Some people like it all the time. Fine. If you don't eat, it's not going to kill you. Just fucking eat later. Just eat later. Just eat later. It's amazing. We just take it for granted that we have food, access to food all the time. Look, you don't have to go hunt it. You don't have to go gather it. You just have it when you want it. You're spoiled. Fill that void with something other than food. Try a dick. Raw broccoli? Fuck raw broccoli. Get a dish. Get a D or a V. No, just don't eat. I read that wrong. Meredith, you don't just, quote, get an eating disorder. Most people could last just fine not eating for a few days. Jesus. I agree. Most people don't understand what an eating disorder is. Most people don't understand what it takes to have that kind of, what makes that psychology work in an individual. And I'm no expert in it too. So I'm not trying to belittle or diminish the impact. I know people have real fucking issues with it. However, telling people to shut their fucking mouths and not eat so much, I think is generally really good, solid advice. Just no one wants to say it like that because that sounds rude. I just don't care. I don't care if it's rude. I want to wake your ass up. Shake you out of your fucking, just your routine. You need to knock you around a little bit. You need to wake up. You're not a zombie. You're in control. I think that's power. I think that's something that can't be overstated. I think you have power. I think you need to remember that you have the power to do this. You have the ability to make this change. You are not a victim. You are not just subject to whatever is on sale at the supermarket. You can go in there and make fucking choices. You have to make better choices. No one's buying the food but you. Who's buying the shitty food? You are. You're a grown adult. You're buying it. It's your fault. Now what? It's your fucking fault for buying the wrong food. It's in my closet and I just can't help myself. Well, how did it make it into your fucking closet? Not only did you take it out, let's say your wife brought it home and put it in the closet, you still fucking took it out and ate it. It's still your fault. Is someone tying you down and force feeding you? Okay, then maybe it's their fault. If you're kidnapped, but you have other issues, you have other concerns if someone's tying you up and force feeding you. Gaining a few extra pounds is not your number one priority. It's not your number one concern. You have other things like finding or calling the police, for God's sake, getting out of that situation. It's a mental fuckery. It's not just a fad. Yeah, I agree. Fuck rude, tell the truth. I try. Oh, I definitely don't skirt the issue. I think a lot of people, oh, he's so mean to me. He's so mean. Yeah, I agree. Eating disorders are not about the food at all. It's just like addiction. Addiction's not about what it is. It's about the support. It's about people around you. It's about your environment. It's not necessarily about the thing. Most people that have addictive or those types of disorders and it's not about the thing that has the issue. It's other things. Addiction is usually not based on the substance itself. From all my experience and knowledge about it. Again, I'm not an expert. I'm not trying to. So if I misspeak and there's like a fact in there that's just not correct, then okay. But I think we can all agree that a lot of this is so much simpler. But it goes back to the title of this episode. It goes back to the subject and the focus that most shit is so fucking simple. Stop getting lost in all the details of things that don't really matter. What's not going to help you? What's going to give you the most results? Focusing on your shit and understanding that you're in control and that you need to take responsibility for figuring out what foods are best. And yes, there are many different processes in which you can do that. If you want to just go and try a diet and a style of eating, paleo, keto, vegan, then fucking just go do it. Just execute on it. But you have to be actively pursuing this. I still think there's a better approach with the elimination process and stuff that we talked about so many times on this podcast. But you have to do something. Don't just sit around and wait for something to happen. No one's going to do it for you because no one gives a fuck. No one cares about you more than you should care about yourself. And no one will. You go to your doctor, they don't give a fuck. He, she, the doctor, I'm sorry, they don't give a shit. They don't. And nor should they. They shouldn't care about you more than you care about yourself. They're not going to. They have 14 other patients in the next hour that they have to attend to, right? Like they're up to their fucking eyeballs with insurance and malpractice insurance and all that stuff. Like they have to cover all these different things. They have to hustle. They have to hustle. It's not about getting you better. It's about getting you out the fucking door with the script so they can get the next person in. It's part of the problem. Only part of the problem. Only part of the problem. Most medical professionals got into the field because they want to make a difference, but they get stuck in the system. You can't. That's just how it works, or how it's worked up to this point. But now you have more information. Now you have more options. Now you have more things that you can choose, and you can have control over your health. You can take control and fucking do it yourself, which is what you should be doing. You go to the doctor when you break something, like when you have an injury and you need like an antibiotic and you have an infection, like things that really need medical intervention. I'm new. What about lifting days? Sometimes I don't feel like eating after lifting days, but I remember I need protein. You need food. Sometimes you don't feel like eating, so eat an hour later. I don't know what you mean. Like you work out and you just don't eat all day? Just eat. It's overall. It's not necessarily what you do on a specific day. It's overall the course of several days in a week. But after you work out, you should eat, whether it's half an hour after or 2 hours after. Just get back on your food and eat when you're supposed to eat. And eat your food. You're fine. You'll be fine. You don't have to eat immediately after. You don't have to. Yeah, I know, Sean. Fuck, all I hear is people trying to do keto, and then you ask and they're doing it with shit food. Most people, that's the thing. Most people go on these diets, or they say, oh, I'm going to do keto because my friend does keto, or I saw this actress or this actor do keto, and they do keto, and they just think that anything, it's fat, they take all these keto bombs and these supplements, and they do cheese on everything, and sour cream, and all this stuff, and yeah, they don't do it right. It's dirty keto. A lot of shit food is keto, is high fat. It doesn't make it good for you. That's right. That's right. Well, that's the thing with most supplements, actually, Meredith. And quote, and not getting blood tests to make certain they are in ketosis. You're just eating high fat. You're not keto. There's urine strips, but those don't get accurate after a while. Yeah, you could do blood tests or take, finger prick and stuff and figure out if you're in ketosis or not. You can go by other things and other aspects of it. However, that's the problem with taking supplements. That's the problem with doing these things is you're guessing unless you're doing blood work and you're saying, oh, I need more vitamin D. Let me take a vitamin D supplement. How do you know if you need one? You don't know. You just saw it or listened to it on a podcast or you read about it and you're taking it, but you don't necessarily need it. And how would you know if you need it? Well, you have to get blood work done, not just once, but regularly to make sure it's good. And that's not free. So not everyone does that. It's just, some supplements work fine, but they work for people that they're deficient. If you're deficient in a vitamin or a mineral, it's definitely going to help you. If you're not deficient, you're taking it, you're either one, potentially causing harm, or you're just wasting your money. And neither of those are good, but you don't know really. And it could be a placebo effect. You feel better. Is it the product you're taking or is it just in your head because you're taking something? It's weird. It's weird. The body is very interesting. The psychology of everything is very interesting. So we'll talk more about this in the next couple of days. Remember, we do have the Sunday Funday Q&A coming up. If you want to ask questions and you want something to get answered also, you can go to the Ask Papa Swole videos on my YouTube channel and drop your question in the comments below with the hashtag Ask Papa Swole. But you'll also see a post either probably tomorrow for the daily, the Sunday Funday Q&A where you can ask your questions there as well. And I will try to get to as many as possible live on episode 1066. But until tomorrow, 1065, I will see you and we'll talk more. We'll talk more shop, fam, as always, every single fucking day. Go get your pump on if you want to learn more about everything that Swolenormous X has to offer. You want to check out subscribing to the podcast. You want to check out the blog, all that stuff. Go to swolenormousx.com for the deets. And until then, I'll see you tomorrow for 1065 of the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleazecast, and the Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Peace, McGee's fam. Deuce, Magoose, your boy, Papa Swole. Out.